Hello everyone, and welcome to another review. As usual at the moment, it's for Train Simulator. I'm hoping to do a different set of reviews in a bit for different things, but at the moment, it's Train Simulator, as you kind of expect by now. What are we doing today? Well, we're doing the London to Faversham route for Train Simulator. It's been on offer recently in the store. I didn't unfortunately get a chance to actually get this review done before then. I would have liked to get it done, but with being ill, I've just not had the time, unfortunately, to get it all done for you guys. So apologies from that point of view. So what is it? What you're going to get with it? The usual sort of stuff that you kind of expect from me by now. Well, it's the route from St Pancras International all the way down to Faversham. It includes the international stations at Ebbsfleet and Stratford, and then it takes you on the old sort of third rail bit down to Faversham. I'm pretty sure it goes via sort of Gillingham, Sittingbourne. If you buy the expansion pack, you can actually get the Sheerness branch line with it as well, which, in fact, just give you an idea of cash. The under Faversham route is £24.99 in the store at the moment. The Sheerness branch, I'll do a separate review on it, is £11.99, or you can buy it as a pack for £29.99, which includes the locos in London to Faversham, which is the class 395. You also get the class 375 in South Eastern class and London to Faversham. And the Sheerness branch includes the class 465 and obviously the Sheerness branch extension, if we want to call it an extension line, whatever, you know what I mean. So, what's included in the route? What do you get? Is it any good? Well, I kind of get the route, and I don't. I mean, it's London to Faversham, I didn't know where the hell Faversham was until this route came out. I'd never heard of it before. It's not kind of an iconic route. It's not, London to Bristol. It's not East Coast Main Line. It's not West Coast Main Line. It's not kind of London to Brighton. People obviously talk about that one a lot. So I didn't know where Faversham was. Completely ignorant northerner, as you kind of can tell from the accent. But I do kind of get why they've done it. I mean, it's obviously the first line in England that you can do 140 mile an hour. Well, it's the first one you can do 183, I think it is. 300 kilometres an hour, Eurostar, down to Dover, through to Paris. If you've ever done that, it's an amazing journey. I have. It's an experience. So I kind of get why they've put HS1 in there to an extent, because obviously it's something that you'd never ever do. It's unique to England. I think the weird thing is obviously they've not done all of HS1, which I think would probably be pretty boring if I'm being brutally honest. Just going from St Pancras, and then where would you actually stop? So I kind of get why they've done it to Faversham. I don't understand Faversham's end point. I don't know whether it's significant or not. Like I say, ignorant northerner, and whether that local line should have actually gone all the way down to Dover. I don't know what the services actually do with the new Hitachi trains or not. But anyway, it's to Faversham. So it starts at St Pancras International, which I think is great because we've got the overlap with London to Bedford and North London line. So we talk about scenarios overlapping and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's really, really good. And then when you come off at Ebbsfleet International, you've then got kind of third rail running, where you would see your class 375s and things like that down there. I think the variety is a bit of a a problem one, because obviously it's all passenger. You're not going to get freight on HS1, period. So you're only ever going to get these, and obviously being that the Eurostar's not been modelled, you don't see the Eurostar, so you're only ever going to see Hitachis, on that section of line. When you come off on third rail stuff, being that they've got the 375, which if you've got London to Brighton, you've already got it, but it's in South Eastern Trains livery. I mean, you do actually see that from time to time, which I think adds to the variety, but it's the usual thing. This is one of the earlier routes where it does feel a little bit like the apocalypse on the standard scenarios. But there is a couple of Armstrong Powerhouse scenario packs for it, which primarily give you a lot of that stuff in that third rail bit. There is a bit of freight working on that third rail bit, what you can do, and it does give you that a little bit of variety and extra stuff, but it does obviously involve buying those scenario packs. What do I think about it? Well, you get the Hitachi, which is, it's an interesting loco to drive because you've got the TVM 430 signalling system in there. You obviously get to drive really, really, really quickly, which is interesting itself, and then it obviously breaks it up into the sort of standard running, if you want to call it that. It's just a difficult one for me to sort of promote and push. It's all about longevity, variety, playability, and all that kind of stuff. And once you've done the route from St Pancras International a few times, it's sort of like meh. Because you can see at the moment it's all a lot of it is underground, so there's not you're driving in a tunnel for 5 minutes or whatever it is, and that's not appealing to me. I don't know why, it just isn't. There's obviously a bit of a challenge getting to use with the TVM 430 system, but it's all right. I think the interesting parts is further down the line, where it's that older stuff from Ebbsfleet International down to Faversham. That for me is quite an interesting section, and certainly in these scenario packs where it's quite busy, I do like that. And then there's obviously the Sheerness Branch Line add-on, which gives you a little bit more variety, but I'm going to do that separately. I'm not going to keep talking about that. So yeah, as a standard pack for £25, you get a Class 395. You only get 5 scenarios, which is a little bit limited. I think as usual, I'm not a scenario creator, so having only 5 scenarios, if I just bought this off the shelf, and the 395, and that's the only thing you could drive. Yeah, there's a quick drive in the 375, but it's like meh. I think it's 51 miles of route, which is a long-ish route for Dovetail Games. I mean, at the moment, South Wales was like 30 odd, so it's a decent section of line. I just think it's a little bit limited in, unless you're willing to buy the Armstrong Powerhouse packs. But again, for 20 minutes of this route, it's the HS1 part, which you're never going to see one local because we've not got Eurostars on it and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, could I recommend it? I think for me, London to Faversham is a difficult recommendation. Like I said, once you've done the HS1 bit a few times, what else is there in there for you? And then you're limited to probably 25-30 miles of line from Ebbsfleet to Faversham to give you that bit of variety. So, yeah, I'm not sure about it, to be honest with you. I could understand why last week they brought it down in price. Certainly at £10, you'd just buy it. You wouldn't even think about it. And in fact, I think I bought this in a Steam Christmas sale 2 or 3 years ago. And for that, I would quite happily pay that, because obviously you get a loco with it. That 395, you could use it in the London Bedford route if you're a scenario creator to kind of show those different sorts of stuff at St Pancras. But I don't think it gives you anything really special. Scenarios are all right. There's not many of them, and you're kind of stuck with what you've got. And I hate giving negative reviews. This is kind of why I've put this one off for a little bit. I think on paper, it's a great idea, and obviously it's that unique thing about the 140 mile an hour, 183 mile an hour if you've got a Eurostar section stuff. But it sort of doesn't lend itself to be something that you come back to time and time and time again. It's not a West Coast Main Line North where you've got all different sorts of working. You've got loads of different endpoints, and it's a difficult route once you've played it for a few days to actually love and keep coming back to. I think the interesting thing for me will be the new one that Dovetail Games coming out with, which is London to Gillingham, which will then actually give you a bit of overlap onto this line, which is great. I like overlap and continuing scenarios, as you know. So I think that'll be an interesting part when it comes out. But for this, yeah, that's my thoughts. Again, don't like giving negative reviews, but I think it's hard for me to recommend this one because it doesn't have that longevity piece with it. And you only get 5 default scenarios, and it's not something that you would kind of come back to time and time again. So yeah, on that negative note, and like I said, it's probably the first one you've heard me do that's a bit like, nah, for £25 it's a lot of money, and you don't get the route. You get a long route, but I don't want to spend 10 minutes in a tunnel. Then yeah, that's how it is, unfortunately. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I've had a massive increase in subscribers this week. I'm going to have to start doing competitions, aren't I, and stuff. But yeah, it's great to have people subscribing and liking the stuff that I'm doing. I'm obviously just not witching to myself, and you guys are finding this useful. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. And I'll see you Friday next week for another route review. Take care. Bye-bye.